Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Jacqueline. It's time to make some food in this kitchen. It's 11 o'clock and we're going to want to have some food on the table for lunch. So I'm going to introduce you to a really nice comfort meal. It's one of my favorites. And if you're wondering why am I cooking all this, I'm actually going to be leaving on a trip. And I do actually love my husband and I want to always make sure that he eats healthy because that's the thing. If you don't have things in your kitchen available, you're going to make poor choices. And I just want to keep my husband around for a very long time. And I know that Epicure's meals are all healthy meals. We've cut out all the extra sodium, sugar, fat. We've made sure that we've left in the flavor, the deliciousness, the creaminess, and we're just making life easy for you. So let's get started on making our home-style chicken stew, shall we? I just realized I don't have my earbuds on. Let me go grab them. I think it might make hearing me a little bit easier. Half hours. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so we are going to do the home-style chicken stew. The instructions are right on the package. So it says combine the seasoning mix to 2 cups of water. I think everyone can manage that, even your littles can manage, helping you in the kitchen with that. So I've got 2 cups of water here. I know if I set it on my stove, it's going to start beeping at me. Bear with me. Let me just slide things over a bit. So we used to carry this little mini whisk. Stay tuned because sometimes in our gift givings in the latter part of the year, we sometimes have stocking stuffer ideas. And if this little mixer, this little whisk ever comes available, grab it. Now I could have used, I do have a larger one. I just think it's in the wash at the moment. We do have a piano wire whisk, and let me just talk about that really quickly. So this piano wire whisk, fabulous. I love the quality of it. How do you know if it's a good quality? Go look in your kitchen right now. Tell me, how many tangs of steel or metal are there in your whisk? Because that's the quality. As you can see, this has multiple wires that make this mixing very, very quick and easy. The other thing that I love about our product is you'll notice that it's welded right into the handle. Hope you can see it there. A lot of times when you buy the lesser quality product, and let's face it, you get what you pay for, you'll find that they've just inserted the wire inside the base, and you've probably had maybe a wire or 2 pull out. But what's even worse is it's a little bacteria festival in there because all the debris from whatever you're making is sliding in between because it's not welded nice and secure like ours is. So piano wire whisk, love it. Didn't use it right now because I've just got this little bowl. So as I mentioned, you're going to want to stay connected to your ambassador in case this little guy comes available. If you're looking for the larger one, it is available now. So it says set this aside. Now what do I do with my package mix? Whoops. Well, that wasn't very nice. I just had my cleaning lady in here. Thanks, Marie, for making my house nice and clean for 5 minutes. Okay. So next it says we need to steam some vegetables because we're making the home-style chicken stew. So I'm using our square steamer. We've got many different sizes of steamers, but for the amount that I'm doing right now, if you're interested in this, so this is great for making our happy birthday cake or our chocolate cake. In this case, I'm just going to steam our vegetables. So I've got some cut up little baby potatoes that are, of course, readily available at your grocery store and at farmers markets right now. We've got a cup of fresh carrots, and the recipe asks for celery. Celery is not usually something I keep in the house. My husband doesn't like it, but I'm a broccoli fan. And for those of you who buy broccoli and you've got the stems, this would be a perfect way for you to use those because you might want to use the broccoli heads for your broccoli, beef and broccoli stir fry, but you can use the bottom parts, the stems, throw those in there. Perfect. gives it a little bit of color. We're going to put the lid on it, so as you can see, and we're popping this in the microwave. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me, do I have to use a microwave to do this? No, you don't. You can boil it on a stove, but for ease of just making things super speedy, and just so you know, when you cook in our silicone steamer, it's not leaching out all those bad chemicals that maybe you see in plastic. So this is basically a form of glass. We're putting it in the microwave, and of course, you know, steam cooks very quickly. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Putting in the microwave. It says on the package 8 minutes. My microwave is very hot, so trial and error. I did set it for 7. Oh, I was wondering why it was beeping. That's my oven because I'm making something else. Okay, so while that's cooking, we need to keep working on what we need to do. So I've got a beautiful, beautiful saute pan. I love this pan. I love because of the height. It's about 2.5 inches high, 3 inches, something like that. It's got a beautiful lid for those of you who love to watch your food and make sure that it's cooking well. We've got the see-through glass, and I've got a tablespoon of oil in here. I'm just gonna quickly heat this up, and we're gonna start putting our chicken in there. So I did say that this is Homestyle Chicken Stew, so let's just get this heated up. I've cut my chicken into bite-sized pieces because pot pie, of course, is really good. Now, a lot of you, when you make pot pie, you may have the crust. For those of you who are wanting to get a healthier diet and a healthier lifestyle going, you may want to cut out the crust, but we haven't forgot about you. We're going to make sure that you have some carbs, so you love Epicure. But we're not going to put it in a pie shell. We're actually going to plate this, and I'm going to quickly make this, and I'll show you the final version in the next half hour. So once this gets heated, we're going to add our chicken in there. I'm going to use our saute spoon and make sure that I've got these items moved around. And the best thing to do is make sure you don't overcrowd your chicken, okay? Because then you're just steaming it. We want to actually cook it. Now, this was frozen chicken. A little tip for you if you're trying to save money at the grocery store. I don't know if it's just me and I'm lucky, but I usually go shopping after dinner. You're not going to impulse buy things because you've already eaten, so you're not going, I'm hungry, I'll grab that. But I have found that at my grocery store, they will actually put some products on discount. This chicken, I bought chicken breast. I bought 2 packages of it because it had a 1 day, like it was going to expire in another day, so a day and a half later. And I just thought they were offering it at $4 off a package. So I got 4 or 5 chicken breasts in a package for like $10. What a deal. So I bring it home, I put it in individual baggies, portion size, and I freeze it because then I know it's not going to expire. If I had just left it in the fridge with that short time frame to use it in, of course it would go bad. So I freeze it and then I take it out. I usually defrost it in the microwave for a few minutes, just enough so it's semi-hard, and I use a sharp knife and cut it really quickly and throw it in my pot, sort of frozen. It's one of the reasons why I put a lid on it. Okay, so we've got our veggies that are cooking right now. We've got our chicken that we're working on, and what we're going to do, and of course we've got our sauce. So I'm just going to give this a little stir. You'll notice it's already becoming brown, which is what I want. I'm trying to get rid of the pink there. And again, I am putting my lid on it. You don't need to have your lid on it if you're using fresh chicken, but because it's frozen, I'm sort of cooking it and thawing it all at the same time. So time saver. So let's talk quickly about this. So this is going to take a minute or two. I've got a couple more minutes in the microwave. This is our carbs that you might be missing when you're making your chicken stew. So we've got a biscuit mix. So this is called Quick Biscuits. So I've got our nesting bowls, and it is really easy to do this. Again, I'm going to grab that little mini whisk so you see why I pulled this out. I've got 1 egg. I like using my little whisk to whisk this up. So get the egg done. The directions are easily on this package. It says add egg to milk, and then in a large bowl you're going to add, so I've got my milk here, so I've got this set aside. We've got 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Now, if you don't have unsalted butter, and unsalted butter is usually more expensive, you could use salted butter. It's not a big deal. Yes, it adds extra sodium, but it is more expensive. Unsalted butter, just so you know, is a better quality butter, which is why they can add it to it. Salt is used very often to disguise lesser quality. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. So we're going to just dump our package in here. I'm not gonna see what, you're not gonna watch grass grow here. But if you have a pastry blender or cutter, what you're going to do is you're just going to manipulate this a little bit and get that pea-sized shape going. And then you're going to add, another 1.5 minutes, we're going to add our liquids. So let's just work this around a bit, making sure that we get the butter mixed with the gluten-free biscuit mix. Now, what does this biscuit mix taste like? Because of course we don't have smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision here. It is, have you ever gone to Red Lobster and had their cheesy garlic biscuits? Well, that's what you can sort of get with this. Now, of course, in order for us to get the cheese and the garlic, we'd have to add some additional things, but you're going to get that texture of that nice flaky biscuit. It is delicious. The ingredients, just so you know, have tapioca starch, so that's that sweetness that you get in there, which I love. Some cornstarch, some potato starch. We've got some gluten-free oat flour, some cane sugar, some baking powder so it rises, a little bit of sea salt, the xanthan gums so everything comes together. And yes, you do need that in there. It's not one of our items in our never ever list. So we've got this going. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick show of what this looks like. Just give this a little scrape. So you're going to get like pea-size shapes. Now we're going to simply add our liquid. So we've got milk in there, our egg. Grab our spoon, and we're just going to manipulate this and get it all nicely mixed up. I would recommend that as you scoop this out, you're not going to be rolling this out. You're going to just use a big spoon, or you could use the saute spoon that I've got here. And to create balls, this package will make approximately 8 really nice sized biscuits. Now, what I was planning on doing with my chicken here is, let me just check my chicken. Grab another saute spoon here. Oh yeah, you can see it's no longer pink. We've got some nice color happening here. My veggies have told me they're ready. So I'm going to go grab those. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, I'll be right back with my veggies. Whew. Like I said, hot out of the microwave. Yep, that was steam. We saw how quickly that cooked. And you can see that the potatoes, the carrots, and of course that broccoli that I have are in there, and they, just to grab you a fork so you understand how quick that cooked. Look at, the potatoes are fork ready, which is perfect. You don't want to overcook them, and that's one of the reasons I adjusted it from the 8 minutes to the 7. I do want to make sure that my potatoes aren't becoming mashed potatoes when I do this, but that I actually have chunks of potatoes in my stew. So again, easy instructions, Homestyle Chicken Stew. We've got our meat done, our veggies are fork tender, perfect. We've added the oil, we've cooked our chicken, and now all we need to do is simply stir in our reserved seasoning pack, which has all the flavor. Make sure we get all this yummy goodness in here. Now, I don't know about you, but it does say on the recipe as well that you can add some peas. Now, if you frozen peas, it says, and the heat, because we've already got the items pre-cooked, this won't take long at all. We want to just thicken this up, so we're going to get our heat to medium high. You can add in some frozen peas. And I had mentioned that I used the broccoli stalk as a substitute for the celery. Well, I have a little, I'm going to just throw a little bit of broccoli in there. And of course, I wouldn't have wanted to steam that broccoli in with my potatoes and my celery or carrots or whatever you're using, because those are harder vegetables and they take longer. Broccoli takes no time at all. So I'm just going to stir this up. You'll notice that the sauce is already thickening. Now, I will mention one thing. I was chatting with a new ambassador the other day and on a training call. And just so you know, when you become an ambassador, we don't, I mean, you can do this business however you want, but there's lots of support for you to learn how to use our product. So I have meetings, and on Tuesday, new ambassadors, or we call it connection calls, you can pop in there any Tuesday and ask me questions. So recently on a call, someone said that one of their customers had said it just didn't taste like they thought it would. And one of the first things I said to the person is call them back and let them know that when you move from maybe your current cooking to Epicure, one of the big things you're going to realize is how much less salt we put in our product. We actually want to just put enough to have what you need, but to enhance the flavor that you want, we totally believe that you could put salt and pepper at your table and season it how you want. So when you're first starting with Epicure, make sure that you taste it. I'm gonna grab a nice piece of chicken here. I'm gonna wait for the seasoning pack to thicken up a little bit more. I don't wanna make a big mess. Let me grab that broccoli properly. I shouldn't have taken such a big bite. Okay, I've been using Epicure for 27 years. So the seasoning to me is really good. My assistant, on the other hand, always tells me, Jacqueline, you don't put enough salt in. So a couple options. If your doctor has told you, slow down on the sodium, you can use our SPG. So you can sprinkle some of that in, or, hang on, over the summer, we have these beautiful salt and pepper grinders available for our hosts. And I love this grinder. Unfortunately, you can't get it. But what I love about it is it slices the granules of salt so it becomes like flakes. And I don't know, but it just tastes better. So you can add some additional salt, some additional pepper. Give that a stir. I am actually turning this off because I think it's thickness I want. Stirring this up. I have got my oven set at 400, I think it was 425 degrees, if I'm correct. So P-shape, yeah, 425, and we're gonna bake these. So I've got this started. So I am just going to grab, basically a clump of this. Oops. As you see, it's quite dry. And what I would do is I would just make like a round ball. I'm going to set this on top of our baking sheet with the liner, of course, and you're going to have 8 of these rolls. So come back again at the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to have this all plated for you so you can see how quick that was. But isn't that meal amazing? Take a look at that. Isn't that something that your family would love? Now, as I mentioned, all these little packages of meal solutions that we have in the collection, reach out to your ambassador about them. This is a great comfort meal for the fall season, but go take a look at some of our other things like our beef and broccoli, our shepherd's pie. We want to help you take the stress away from meals. Your ambassador can be your best friend. So go take a look at your catalog on our AEW website, our ambassador e-commerce website. Start filling your shopping cart. Make sure you ask them any questions that you want. If you have any questions for me, make sure you post them below. I'll be watching the website for the next couple days. I am here to be of service to you, to make sure that you understand how we can really get rid of all the stress when it comes to meal making. So thanks for watching, everyone. Come back again because the biscuits will be done in a half an hour, 17 to 20 minutes. And I will show you how good they are. And we will work on to our next project, which I'm looking over there. I'm going to talk about how you can use Epicure to have a healthier lifestyle. I know it works. I've done it. I've seen the results, and you can too. So come back again at the half hour. We'll see you at 11:30 Pacific time. Thanks everyone for watching.